Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Atul Lal, MD and Vice Chairman at Dixon Technologies, joining in. Atul, welcome to the show, and always a pleasure to speak to you and have you on the show. Atul, my first question coming to you is, overall, in terms of FY21, we've seen spectacular growth that has come in. In fact, due to the work from home culture, a lot of consumption side products, etc., did see great demand. How would you describe the year for Dixon?
Well, 2021, I would split the question into two. One is on the numbers side. So numbers, in spite of the first quarter being a washout, was an extremely good year for us. See, we grew in our revenues from 4,400 crores to 6,400 crores. Similarly, on the bottom line, that again increased, the operating profit increased from 220 odd crores to 290 crores. The PAT increased from 120 to 160. So it was a very high growth year for us, which I think, I think it was a great feeling. Now, I think beyond the numbers is also how the overall trajectory of the business took shape, which I think was even more exciting than the numbers. Because one, in our existing verticals, we expanded our capacities, acquired new customers, whether it was LED televisions, whether it was LED lighting. We set up a new plant, fully automatic top loading. We ventured into the new product range of medical electronics and set-top boxes. We got the approvals under PLI scheme for mobile phones. We acquired some very large global brands like Motorola as our customers. And with that, a very significant chunk of our revenue is going to come from global markets. We are pursuing a joint venture with Bharti Group, with Airtel as an anchor customer. We're going to be applying under the Telecom PLI. We have submitted our application for IT products PLI, specifically for laptops, wherein we have signed an MOU, again with one of the largest global brands. We are going to be pursuing our PLI for LED lighting, getting into the backward integration space for components. We're also going to be pursuing PLI for air conditioner controller board with our Japanese partner. We have launched our refrigerator project. We have set up our LED monitor lines, and we have tied up with two of the largest global brands. So a lot has happened.
Correct.
And this is the foundation for next 4-5 years. So this has undoubtedly been some kind of a game changer here.
Right. So I think this is one of the best things that's happened to a few companies, in the midst of a pandemic as well. And I think Dixon is one of the few to see this kind of an uprise. So with all of this, another question that comes up, Atul, is that in FY21, in spite of the first quarter being a washout, we did see a lot of pent-up demand that had started to creep in. Now that we already crossed the second wave, people have been talking about the third wave. Do you think, like last year, we will see a pent-up demand for discretionary consumption that could happen in the second half of FY22?
So, see, the first 2 months, undoubtedly, because second wave was horrific. April, May were deeply impacted. But in the current month of June, I see the order book significantly improving. And when I look at our order forecast for Q2 of this financial year, that's very healthy, that's very good. However, please appreciate that we are a B2B company, wherein we execute business for the brands. And the brands build up their inventories in anticipation of demand for the festive period. So many people, many experts are saying that it's going to be V-shaped. But I personally feel, and I feel only cautiously optimistic. So when I have to wait and watch, I'm optimistic, but at the same time, I'm also keeping my fingers crossed. Because I feel the second wave was very different from the first wave.
Hmm.
The first wave, the families were not that badly impacted.
Correct.
In the second wave, most of the families have been impacted. Their personal balance sheets have been impacted.
Hmm.
So how the final consumer demand comes out, one has to wait and watch.
Right. So overall, if you have to make a division between global markets as well as versus the domestic markets, do you think the performance with regards to global markets could be little better for the company versus domestic?
So in Dixon's case, the global market revenue stream is just opening up.
Hmm.
And this is for us mainly from US market.
Correct.
So there I see the demand is very robust. That what was forecasted for us is on the ground. In the domestic market, the forecast remains good. It's again strong. But since we are so much aware of what's happening on the ground, I'm cautiously optimistic. If it does very well, we are fortunate. But the global markets, I think, will continue to remain strong.
And what percentage of our revenues do you think could come from global markets in FY22?
So we feel almost 25% of the revenues.
Okay.
So that's a very large share now.
Hmm.
Will come from global markets.
Okay. And say in the next 3 years, do you think we will be able to make it an even number between 50 from global, 50 from domestic, or what's going to be the trajectory on that front?
Well, it's slightly difficult to answer that in percentage terms, but my sense is it should be around 60%, 65% domestic and 35 to 40% global. I'm talking about 2 to 3 years time frame.
Right. And overall, if you have to see different segments of business, I mean, consumer electronics is a major revenue contributor for us. I think almost 45% used to come from there. It's moved up beyond 50% now in the fourth quarter. Additionally, if you see, we have lighting products where the share has gone down as a total contribution. And you have home appliances also, which has gone down slightly. So do you think this is the kind of mix we are going to continue seeing?
So consumer electronics would continue to be a strong revenue generator as far as percentage of the overall revenue is concerned. You'll see a very big flip and contribution coming from mobile as a vertical. Right. Now there'll be in the other verticals like washing machine or lighting, and there will be a very significant growth in absolute terms. Right. But since the growth in consumer electronics and mobile is going to be so huge, as a percentage they'll shrink. But in absolute terms, they're going to grow. They're going to keep growing at 25, 30%. But, right. And also we are going to be generating revenues out of our other verticals, namely telecom, set-top boxes, medical electronics, and we are also venturing into IT products.
Correct.
So, yeah. So as a percentage for washing machine and lighting will be diminishing, but the growth of 25-30% will be there.
Okay. As you mentioned about telecom as well, how big a booster dose is the PLI scheme going to be for Dixon, taking into consideration that we will be, jointly manufacturing with Bharti Airtel?
So that number crunching is in process. But to give you some details on the contours of the scheme, the total allocation is around 12,000 odd crores. And they're going to be selecting 10 players from MSME and 10 players from non-MSME. So it's for non-MSME, and that's the category in which Dixon Bharti JV is going to fall, is around 11,000 crores to be split between 10 players. So some rough number crunching, I feel that in a couple of years' time, this particular venture is going to generate an annual revenue of somewhere around 2,500 crores per year.
Okay. And overall, with all of this, currently, what's the blended capacity utilization that we have right now?
So when we look at televisions, in the first quarter, it's our capacity is around 350K a month. We are somewhere around 250 to 80K. So that's almost 75%. In lighting, it was very, very low because the first quarter the markets were closed and the order book was small. But from June, it started picking up. My sense is that from the next quarter, it will be almost at 80-85%. In washing machine, in the forthcoming quarter, the order book is at almost 110%. And in smartphones, so one on the Samsung side, we are at almost 75%. But in the other vertical, in the other new factory, we are at ramp up phase. So order book is very healthy, but ramp up is taking some time. So I think it's going to take some time. In the security surveillance, we are at somewhere around 70%.
Okay. So going ahead, taking into consideration the growth that we are targeting, the new orders that we will be undertaking as well. Do we have the capacity already to meet the orders? And for the growth, or do you think additional capacity addition in different segments is going to be needed?
Yeah, so in televisions, we have expanded our capacity from 4.4 to 5.5, which will become operational by August so that we are ready for the peak period, the festive period. We have further added a capacity of 1 million LED monitors, which will also become operational by August, September. In the case of washing machine and semi-automatic itself, we have expanded our capacity from 1.1 to 1.4. Our new plant for fully automatic top loading with a capacity of 0.6 million is ready. It's going to become operational from September. In the case of LED lighting, we already have a large capacity on the bulb side of almost 22 million a month, 250 million a year. In the case of tube lights and battens, we have expanded our capacity. We first expanded the capacity from 0.5 to 1, 1 to 2, and now we have doubled the capacity to 4 million. Downlighters, again, we increased from 100K to 0.5 and now to almost 1.2 million. And then we have added new SKUs there, the commercial lights, the street lights, 2x2s. So all that capacity has been created. So this is the capacity expansion. And now the capacity is going to be created for the IT products, namely the laptops. Then also the new investments are going to go in for the telecom products. So yeah, capacity creation, because the order book is extremely robust, is going to happen all across.
Right. So what's the kind of investments that we are going to be looking at? Because I think roughly around 150 odd crores is what we were planning to invest with regards to where if the current year 21 is concerned. How much of it is utilized and how much are we looking to further invest?
So in current year of 21-22, and the capex is going to be somewhere in the range of around 250 odd crores.
Okay.
And this is going to be, I feel, the capex budget 250 to 300 crores over next 2 to 3 years.
And how do we plan to fund the investments?
So you see, we generate adequate cash from our internal equity. And also our debt to equity is extremely low. We are only at 0.2. And if you see our balance sheet as on 31st of March, we were at negative net debt. So we will, if required, raise some long-term debt because the balance sheet is strong to fund our expansion. However, as a backup plan, we have taken an enabling provision. A resolution was passed in the last board meeting to raise 500 crores if required. This will be taken to our shareholders in our forthcoming annual general meeting to take a stamp on that. So if required, we're going to raise equity. However, I'm pretty confident as of now that internal accruals with some borrowing will be able to fund our capex.
Right. And Atul, overall, with regards to medical electronics as a segment, how big do you think it could be for Dixon Technologies?
Well, it's a very niche segment for us. And an opportunity fell in our lap and we grabbed it. So still, we do not have a big outlook for that. It's going to be niche. And at least as of now, that's what I feel is going to be like that. The teams are working on some more strategic alliances there, but I think it's still going to take some time. So as of now, it's going to be a business in the range of just 20-25 crores for us.
Okay. And overall on the margin front as well, what's the kind of outlook that you hold? Because currently, if you go to see, you have commodity prices which are skyrocketing right now. Yes, there is a downtick that's happening in terms of a lot of employee costs overall. Other expenses for companies have been going down. But overall, do you think there could be price increases that could be happening on the back of an increase in commodity prices?
So we have two revenue streams. One is what we call as the OEM business, in which we work on the customer source sheet. So any reduction or any increase in the commodity price is passed on to the customer automatically as per the contract. So a large portion of our business, whether it's LED televisions or mobile phones or set-top boxes or medical electronics, is a business of that kind. Any increase, it passes on. So in that, there is no impact on us. However, in certain businesses, which are large businesses for us, namely lighting and washing machine, we offer our own solutions, which is called as a ODM business. In that, undoubtedly, we, just like every industry player, faced significant impact due to the commodity super cycle. So now, to a very large extent, we have been able to pass it on to the customer. That has happened to a very large extent. But then, in these particular verticals in the last quarter, we were impacted and the margins were impacted. So now I think there is more stabilization to that.
Okay. So overall, very lastly, in terms of FY22, what's the kind of growth that we could see in terms of top line, bottom line, and what's the kind of margin range we're targeting?
So, you see, one has to wait and watch that how the balance 9 months pan out as far as the demand is concerned, because to gauge that what impact COVID second wave has had on business, one has to still wait and watch. However, in spite of lack of clarity on that front, we are still pursuing very aggressive growth. We feel that the top line should grow by almost 70%. And there should be a significant increase in the bottom line as well. We are still very confident and will be pursuing the growth both on top line and bottom line very aggressively.
Okay. And overall, with regards to where the credit cycle goes, how is that looking like and how is the inventory days looking like? Have we seen a major change due to COVID?
So if you see, our operating cycle is usually within -5 to +5 days. That's the kind of operating cycle we aspire for and we've been able to achieve. However, the inventory levels, because a lot of components are pre-ordered, and this time they were pre-ordered also in January because of the Chinese New Year. There is a block holiday there for 20 years, so you plan your inventories before that. There has been a definite increase in the current assets on the inventory side, both in lighting and washing machine, which has impacted. But I think that is going to get settled by Q2 because the order book looks healthy.
Right. And any new business verticals that we plan to further enter apart from the ones that we're already talking about?
So I shared with you, there's a lot on plate. We've already rolled out the refrigerator project, wherein we plan to start the commercial production by Q3 of next financial year. We are going to be planning for rollout on the telecom side. We are also going to be planning the rollout on the IT product side. So these three are absolutely in front of us. And then if we get the approvals, both for components for LED lights, that means we're going to go in for the backward integration project in extrusions, in inductors, in voltage components. So we're going to be pursuing that. And also if we get the approval for AC controller board side, Then we'll be setting up a new plant with a Japanese partner in that domain. So a lot is going to happen.
I think there's going to be a no looking back for a Dixon Technologies. It's always been the case, I think, since the time we've been speaking to you. And I think that's going to be the case further as well. Thank you, Atul, so much for joining us on the show. Always a pleasure to speak to you. Good luck. Thank you so much and stay safe.
Thank you, Harold. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for this interaction.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.